my viewers, all the viewers, welcome viewers. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my live. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. We have so much to go over and so much to discuss this evening. You could have been absolutely anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me, and I appreciate that more than you know. So as you come on in, please tell me your name, tell me where you're from. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Let's do all the things. Let's run this up. I am being censored everywhere on everything just because I want to give you guys the news that you can use. And it's insane what's happening, but that's okay. We're still gonna, we're gonna keep them. We're gonna keep it moving because don't nobody stop no show, right? Don't nobody stop no show. I don't care about censorship. I don't care about none of that. We're gonna keep it going and we're gonna keep it moving. So welcome, 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 everybody. My name is Tanjanika. If you don't know who I am, I talk all things global news, and we have a lot of global news to go over today. I have been racking my brain on like which order to put all of this in. I know it's overwhelming. It's a lot to discuss and a lot to share. So I've been trying to like categorize things, and yeah, I'm not one to waste anyone's time, so I want to get right into it because again, we have a lot of stuff to share. I want to start by updating everybody on what's been happening in the United States. I know for a fact that everyone is not getting the news that they should. They're not getting the accurate information because our media is suppressing the information. They are literally not telling you how bad the situation is. They're not telling you the moves that they're making because I don't even think they know the moves they're making. I think it's just like it really is vibes. It's like, how do we feel today? Like, we started it, we can't jump out of it, and we have to keep going. So if you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, in the last couple of days over the weekend, it's just Tuesday. It's Wednesday. Okay, so over the weekend, we absolutely started with Iran. We were in peace talks with them, and we basically jumped them. When I say we, I mean America and Israel. They both basically band together and they jumped Iran. And this was allegedly our plan. And when I say our, I mean the United States of America. This was our plan. Well, as the information is unfolding, this was clearly Israel's idea. This was clearly Israel's plan. They have been planning this for 40 years. And hello, everybody. Tell me your name. Tell me where you're from when you come in so we can get to know each other. All that good stuff. Israel has been planning this for at least 40 years. And so, therefore, they are the ones spearheading this war. And President Trump was like, he was asked about that. He said, did Israel basically get you involved in this? And he was like, no, I probably got them involved in this. I'm the one that told them to do it. They told me they were going to do it. And I said, well, I'm going to do it first. That's basically what he said. I think it's a lie. It's not the truth. And you can tell he's way over his head. There's video and photo of him and Pete Hegseth like getting into it. Like, I know they're presenting a united front, which is exactly what you're supposed to do, right? You can't have the American public and the American people panicking. You cannot do that. So you have to present a unified front. But behind closed doors, when I say everything is on fire, when I say everything is collapsing and coming down, that is zero exaggeration. People inside are talking and they're saying like it's bad. There's video footage of him and Pete getting into it. He's all red in the face. It's not a good look. It's just literally not a good look. So this week, he did a tweet, or he put out, he was like, make sure you watch Bebe tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Insane. Absolutely effing insane. I couldn't believe what I saw. Bebe addressed the United States nation as if he was our president. Do you understand what I'm saying? He got on Fox television on the Hannity report and addressed the United States of America as if he were our president. Floored. I was absolutely floored. I couldn't believe it. Some of the highlights from the talk. He said that basically, like, he was like, what was we supposed to do? He was like, they was chanting death to America. They always say that, like, that ain't had nothing to do with us. Um, and he said that, so Hannity asked him, he said, it's being stated that, you basically coerced Trump or dragged him into this. And we know that Trump can't be dragged into anything, but I want to get your reaction to that. Do you know he just starts laughing? It's like this sinister laugh. I cannot describe this laugh to you. You absolutely have to go watch the video. He's like, that's ridiculous. If you don't know what to look for, you don't know what to look for, and it's perfectly fine. But when I say that laugh, let me know everything. He was like, yeah, I didn't have to coerce him. I didn't have to drag him. I told him what I wanted to be done, and he did it. That's what that laugh gave me. He said, Iranians was calling the United States of America Big Satan, and they were calling Israel Small Satan. And I didn't hear that, but that's what he said they were calling us. Now, mind you, this is an international war criminal addressing the United States of America. There are several warrants out for his arrest internationally, and he is just sitting up on television like, I'm going to talk to y'all, as if we want to hear from him. But that happened, and there's also been reports that Mossad agents, if you don't know what the Mossad agents are, though that is the equivalent to our CIA. So Mossad agents have been arrested in Qatar and Saudi Arabia. They have been arrested for planning to drop bombs on them. Okay, so they have literally arrested them. So the plan is to destabilize the whole entire region and blame it on Iran. That is Israel's plan. That is their plan, and they were caught doing that in Qatar. It's Qatar and Saudi Arabia. Okay, so they've been arrested for doing that. Also, Iran hit a radar that covers most of the Middle East, and that had Israel and the United States basically flying blind. They had no idea, how to stop the barrage of missiles that was coming in. When I tell you Israel is getting demolished, it's giving Gaza. I'm not joking. I promise you, if you do your research and you look, you will see that it is not sweet. Things are really bad. I love that. Okay. So Israel's getting demolished. That dome, that Iron Dome is not stopping nothing. It's made out of paper. Okay. It's made out of paper. So that has happened. It's looking like lightning in the sky. When I tell you they are just lighting them up from everywhere, and people over there are crying, and they're like, this is unnecessary and this is a war crime. And people are like, girl, shut up. Girl, shut up. No, we're here now. Everyone is involved. The thing with the situation is, they did not expect Iran to have the endurance that they are having. They have a longer endurance capacity than anyone originally thought. They had more missiles than anyone originally thought. And they had the Strait of Hormuz in their back pocket. The Strait of Hormuz is where 20 to 30% of the world's oil and energy is a corridor that boats or ships have to go through in order to get to, Japan, in order to get to China, in order to get to Doha, in order to get to Qatar, in order to get to Saudi Arabia. They all have to go through there. Iran has shut it down. They have completely shut it down. Barrels of oil are going up to $118 a barrel when it was like maybe 68 last week. Do you understand the number difference? It is bad. It is super, super bad. And the difference is the U.S. is not feeling it the way we think we will because we're so far away from that region. And so therefore, the U.S. is starting stuff because we wouldn't feel it. The problem is they did not account for Iran attacking 13 other countries surrounding them. Iran said, oh, everybody getting involved. Since we was attacked, everybody is going to get involved. And what started this is when they attacked Iran, they attacked a school and they killed 175 little girls between the ages of 7 and 12 years old. Iran just had a mass burial ceremony or a mass funeral for them. 175 little girls. You cannot imagine. I cannot unhear the screams, the wails of pain. Like when I say it's insane. It's insane what's happening over there. And so they thought that the Iranian people was going to rise up against their government. That is 100% not happened. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now the Iranian people are pissed because you killed their little girls and now they're going to back their government. They would rather back their government than be oppressed by the US. I keep telling y'all that like this was not the approach that we should have done, and yet we did it. What else has happened? Okay, so 175 little girls. They've also said that during this time, 5,700 people have been killed in Iran, and there have been 800 martyrs. Martyrs are people that is like, I'll die about mine. I don't care about none of this. 800 of them. Keep that in mind, okay? They said, Iran had said that they are attacking schools, universities, and hospitals. Originally, Iran was just attacking U.S. bases. They were not attacking, civilian populations, anything like that. They were just attacking the bases. Yeah, no, they're not talking about the children at all, and it's insane, right? So that's what's prompting Iran to keep going. And they, again, the U.S. came to the table, and it was like, okay, we want to call a truce. We were just playing. Now that your supreme leader is gone, we want to call a truce. And Iran say, absolutely not. No. They turned them down. They said there will be no more peace talks. We will die by ours. And they are proceeding with that. Originally, the U.S. thought that they were going to be able to unalive the supreme leader, and that that was going to be the regime change. That's not how the Iranian government works. It's a three-tiered system. It is designed not to fail. It is designed to always have someone in place. And even though he didn't have a successor and he didn't vocally say that out loud, there has been one named already. And they have three tiers of government. They have like a judicial system. They have a 12-person council. When I say they will not fold, so the whole plan has been demolished. Whatever the U.S. originally thought going into this, that has 100% not worked. And so what you see now is the U.S. scrambling, trying to figure out a way to end this. They thought it was going to be, a weekend situation, and they was going to come back on Monday. The stock market wasn't even going to be affected by it. That's the level of arrogance that they had. Now it is being said that they are trying to go through backdoor channels to call a peace. So I think they're like in Italy trying to call a peace, like, please, Italy, call them and see if they'll talk to you. It is comical it's not comical at all, but it's so funny how you thought this is what you thought, right? Okay, so with them closing the Strait of Hormuz, this is affecting the oil and gas markets, but that trickles down to our food and fertilizer markets. So again, the U.S. is so far away from the Middle East, they did not think we would be affected, but now the entire globe is affected. Do you understand? Just by that one play, closing the Strait of Hormuz. Now, and closing the Strait of Hormuz and bombing 13 other countries. Iran say, if it's gonna be us, if we gonna go, everybody gonna go too. When I say Saudi Arabia did not account for this, when I say Dubai and United Arab Emirates did not account for this, they were on their news literally crying with tears. They cannot believe they're involved in this. They should have absolutely tried to stop this from the beginning. And now that their oil and their energy is affected, they now are involved as well. The numbers are skyrocketing for everything. China is reporting that the CIA headquarters in Dubai has been hit. That has not been on our news at all. Also, the military general for ISRO has been unalived, and they hit their building. They hit their building in the Middle East, and I mean they hit their building in ISRO. So think the CIA building and the head of the CIA being demolished in Israel. That's the equivalent. So that has happened. They're not playing. They're not playing. I'm not laughing, but I promise you, they thought it was gonna be so sweet. All of this footage is being suppressed online. We're not able to see it. But when I tell you, if you look at other news around the world, you will be able to see the actual ramifications of what is happening. It's insane. The cost of this war will be felt around the world globally, and it's starting in Washington right now. Other countries are putting pressure on the US to stop this, but it's a lose-lose situation. Like Trump will lose face, he will lose leverage, he will lose. It's so much that he will lose right now, and he'll go to the ends of earth as well about his. This is going to be an attack on stability, and this is going to be an attack on safety for the entire region of the Middle East. And then the next stage of this is the food and water supply. And they said if our children are dying, everybody's child is dying. They're going to attack the food and the water supply. I'm not laughing. I swear to God, I'm not laughing. I promise you, this is insane. Because they genuinely thought Iran was going to lay down. They thought they wasn't going to do nothing. When I say they had a plan since the last time they attacked them in June 2025 when they were in the middle of negotiations and peace talks then. And Iran said, okay, bet. And when I tell you, since then up until now, they have been preparing. They were ready for this. And the US and Israel did not. They didn't think this. This is when I say Trump, Bebe, Mark Rubio, and Pete Hegseth have told 4 different stories on how we got involved in this. None of them are on the same page. They have told 4 different stories. It's absolutely insane. That's how you know they just going off vibes. They're just going, doing whatever they want to do. There was trending this weekend was send Barron. I loved that. I absolutely loved that. They was like, send Barron to the front lines. Barron is like 6'7" to 6'9" or something like that. He's super tall. And they was like, send him over there. That was trending. I thought that was super appropriate, and I think that's very accurate. They absolutely should send Barron. Also, they sent Melania to the UN to head the UN Council. Oh my effing God. Like, oh my God. What? Like, oh my God. Oh my God. I can't even, oh my God. First of all, the irony of sending an immigrant to represent the United States, you can't get past it. You can't get past it. You can't get past it. She's been here for 30 years and she barely speaks any English. You can absolutely tell she does not practice. She don't talk to nobody in English. She only talks in her language. You can absolutely tell just by how she was speaking at the UN Council. This is not an exaggeration at all, okay? So she did that. Israel has closed the Gaza border indefinitely, so there is absolutely no humanitarian aid going to the last couple of people that are still alive in Gaza. That is happening as well. Yeah, I think that's significant for the update. I think that's significant for the update. Also, Spain got involved. They 100% condemned the US and Israel for jumping Iran. And so therefore Trump came back and he said he's cutting off all trade to Spain. He's cutting off all trade to Spain because Spain will not let the US use their bases to attack Iran. Also, yeah, I'm going to leave that there. We're going to keep it moving because there's so much. There's so much. Why are you hoping we lose? Because I don't like a bully. I love the underdog. I love a good underdog story. We have been trying people for forever. We cannot continue to get away we cannot continue to get away with this. And if and y'all voted for this. Y'all absolutely wanted this, and you're getting exactly what you voted for. And so I'm here for all choices and consequences. That's why. Thank you. Thank you for asking for my opinion on that. Yep. Okay, so leave the world behind. I think that's super important to discuss right now. And I think that we need to talk about it because I watched it again from new eyes. The first time I watched this movie, I hated it. I was so irritated and annoyed. I could not grasp the concept of it. I hated the way it ended. Um, I didn't understand why he was putting on a cape for these white people. I genuinely didn't understand. If you've never seen the movie, I'm definitely about to give spoiler alerts. So do with that information that you will. But I'm sure everyone has seen it. In the movie, this, first of all, to set the stage for the movie was produced by former President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama. When it came out in 2023, I believe, it was a prerequisite for what is going to happen in the world. And it was, they're calling it a propaganda. Let me get the right terminology because it's called predictive programming, and it's a theory that the government or other higher ups are using fictional movies or books as a mass mind control tool to make the population more accepting of planned future events. And so, therefore, everyone watched that movie and it was like, pay attention to what's happening. If you watch Leave the World Behind, you can see what's going to happen. As a veteran, I thought that was super important. So I watched it. I was immediately irritated, and I couldn't, I was so many things that I was irritated about. So when I say almost everything in the movie, I was irritated about. First of all, the black guy and his daughter own this big, huge mansion, right? They rent it out, think Airbnb. This white couple rents the house out that morning. And so they just want to get away. When the movie starts, um, she's standing in, she meaning Julia Roberts, she's standing in the window and she was like, I was looking at everybody going about their life or whatever, and then I remembered I hate people. That's basically the premise of what she said. And because he said, why would you book this today? Help me understand, like, why is this so important, right? um and so she was like, I hate people. And so they go drive to this big mansion outside of New York City. And while they're there, in the middle of the night, the people that own the house, which is a black man and his daughter, they show up. They're in a suit. He's in a tuxedo. The daughter is in a gown. They just left the opera or the symphony or something like that. There was a show, but something had happened in the city. And he said, it was just instinct for me to drive home. You know, I could have stayed at my apartment in the city, but I would have to climb 40 flights of steps, and I didn't want to do that. I have a bad knee. So I just drove out here. She was like, you drove out here in the middle of the night? He was like, yeah. So he doesn't have his ID on him because he left it in his coat at the opera house, so he can't prove his identity, but he does have the keys to a locked liquor cabinet. So he goes, he opens the liquor cabinet, and he shows that this is his house. Basically, he was like, you know, this is my house. But the whole time, the wife is not feeling it. She was like, you're a stranger who showed up in the middle of the night. You know, my children are upstairs asleep. And so she's going back and forth with him. And the daughter is like, but this is our house. Like, this is, I don't even know what we're discussing. This is actually our house. So I'm not about to go back and forth with you. So I remember watching it the first time and I was just irritated that he was being so, like, he was just capitulating to these white people. And it was just irritating me. So throughout the movie, certain things happened that I didn't understand. I couldn't process, right? So what I did this time, before I watched it the second time, I watched Easter eggs from a white person and I watched the Easter egg from a black person. When I say two totally different visions, I swear to God, this is, I know we're different. We're different. The things that the white person saw were totally different from what the black person saw. The white person, this is his Easter eggs. The photo in the back, the painting in the back kept changing throughout the movie to show you how to increase your anxiety and to show you how bad things were getting. Okay. He also said that you don't really know what is happening. Like, you know, it's an attack, but they don't pinpoint what the attack is. It's up to you to decide and decipher, and what your imagination is. You come up with the, like, was it a cyber attack? Did they attack the grid? Is it actual war? Like, because they're so far outside the city, no one knows what's going on. All the comms are down, the television is down, and at first it's like a white screen on the television. Then, no, at first it's a blue screen on the television. Then it's a white screen. And then when she wakes up in the morning, it says cyber attack, and it has like Russian letters, and it is, a blackout was caused by this. She wakes up to this on her phone, right? So, so the white guy is just telling you, you really have to decide for yourself what the cyber attack is. The black guy, his Easter eggs are just like, in the scene, the white people are upstairs. So what ends up happening is they let the black people in, but they make them go sleep in the basement of their house. They make them, because they don't know who they are for real, and she doesn't trust and she doesn't believe. And her husband was like, well, I mean, he's cool. He opened the cabinet. He has the keys. I don't see what the big problem is. Like, let's just let them stay here tonight. And then in the morning, when the comms come up and the phone, we'll figure out what's going on. So she was upset about that whole thing. So they go to bed upstairs, and the black people got to go downstairs to go to bed. Upstairs, the painting behind the white people is an ocean. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I'll come back to that. Okay, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. When you pan downstairs, there you see the shot. It looks like a slave ship. Black guy called it immediately. And when I looked at it, I was like, didn't pick that up the first time I watched it. Again, I was super irritated, so I didn't pick up a lot of things. Then when they're on the beach, the white couple, when they're on the beach, they go take the family to the beach. An oil tanker is getting close, and the daughter is watching it. She was like, that ship is getting close to us. It looks like it's not gonna stop. And so finally the wife wakes up the husband who's asleep. She was like, look at this. The oil tanker comes on the beach. You see all the white people scrambling, running, trying to get out the way. When I tell you the oil tanker comes aground, Strait of Hormuz. I immediately recognize Strait of Hormuz. Like when I say, the signs were 100% there. It was an oil tanker that came aground, and the name of it was White Lion on the side of the ship. Okay, so that happened, and I was like, oh, they are talking about, how it's going to affect the oil supply, and how, and the comms were down because the ship couldn't stop because of the cyber attack, and the comms were down. In the middle of the movie, planes were going down, right? 2 aircrafts. Whole time he's waiting on his wife to get there because she has a flight that next morning. So he was like, my wife will be here in the morning. She has a flight. So he goes to check on the neighbor. As he goes to check on the neighbor and go through the neighbor's house, a plane is coming down and nosedives and crashes because the comms go down and everybody is unalived. When I say it's a beach full of bodies, I say, oh, okay, travel, bam. And what you see now is all of the airways have been shut down. Nobody's flying anywhere. No one's flying anywhere. When I say everybody has grounded and everything has stopped. Insane. Okay, so that happened. Then you see, and then the black guy tells us that in the movie you see deer, right? You see a whole bunch of deer. And I didn't understand what was happening the first time I watched it. The black guy says black people represent the deer. Animals always have an instinct, right, that other people do not have. Think the 92% that tried to tell everybody that this wasn't a good idea. So the deer were trying to warn the people the entire time. And what happened is I didn't like the first one. The first time I watched it, I didn't understand a lot of it because I didn't understand why he was capping or putting a cape on for these white people so bad. Come to find out his wife is white. I watched it the second time. I find out his wife is white, and now it makes so much sense to me because his daughter was like, she said something, she has a line, she was like, you cannot trust these white people, Dad. I think even Mom would agree with me on that. So that let me know the wife was white, and I was like, oh, I need the context of everything so that I can understand the full picture. And I knew I didn't like the first time, but now that I understand his wife is white, it makes so much sense now. Okay, so in the woods, at one particular time, you see the daughter who's half white, half black, and you see the white lady. They're in the woods. They're looking for the white lady's daughter. The deer come up and surround the black girl. They're trying to warn her. They're trying to protect her. They're trying to look out for her. But then you see the white lady come yelling, screaming, ah, get out the way, shoot, ah. So she tries to scare the deer away, and the deer is standing like, what's going on with your girl? Like, we ain't even over here for her. So she done scared the deer away who were trying to protect the black girl. Then, then the father, they wake up the next morning. She was like, look at my phone. He was like, I don't see anything. The messages had gone from her phone. She was like, no, it said it was a cyber attack. It was 4 messages. One was in Russian and one was in gibberish. I'm trying to tell you it was on my phone. He was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go into town. I'm gonna get a newspaper. I'm gonna see if I can find somebody and I'm gonna see if I can find out what's going on. He don't know where he going because the comms are out, the radio is down, and the radio is stuck on like 1642 or something, 16 something. That's significant. I forgot what the black person said, but that radio station number is significant because something happened in that time frame, right? So he gets lost. He was like, well, man, I'm gonna just go back to the house. He's driving back to the house. He runs into a Spanish lady. It's the only it's the only person that we see ever. And it's illegal immigrant. Do you see? She's speaking in Spanish, and I didn't know what she was saying, but after I watched the Easter eggs, she was like, you're the first person I've seen all day. She was like, I saw this plane dropping red stuff and I need help. And, I need your help. Please help me. Like something is going on. And he's like, I'm sorry. I don't speak Spanish. I don't know. And he lets the window up and drives off. Definitely leaves her on the side of the road stranded. Definitely gets the hell on. He was like, I don't even know what you're saying. The window coming up so slow was so funny. Anyway, he's driving off, and then all you see in the background is some red chasing him. So he starts picking up speed. He's driving, and he's trying to outrun it because we don't know what it is. Come to find out, it's a drone dropping pamphlets and propaganda. He ends up getting one of them, and the pamphlet is written in Iranian. On the back, there's a message, and it's written in Iranian, and on the front, it's like a snake. So when he brings it back, he's all, he done lost it. Like, he done seen some stuff. Everybody done seen some stuff because the wife was in the woods with the deers. He done seen the Spanish lady and the red stuff done fell. So everybody shook. Everybody done had their own experience throughout the movie. So he's showing the adults the red thing. The son comes into the room, and he was like, oh, Deaf to America. And he was like, what? He was like, yeah, that's in my game. The game that I play, it says Deaf to America. And so the adults is looking like, because at this point, nobody know what's going on. Everybody's still lost, but they know something has happened. And the black guy, he's into like cybersecurity. They never really say what he does, really. I can't remember, but we know he works for wealthy people. And he was like, he works for a billionaire, and all of a sudden the billionaire calls him out of nowhere and tells him, that he needs to transfer a lot of money. And I'm talking about an ungodly amount of money that he normally doesn't do. He didn't schedule a meeting with him, nothing like that. So he does it. And then he said, yeah, because at one point in time, he was like, he had a conversation with him, and the guy was like, yeah, I go off and go have dinner with my cabal friends and my evil elites or something like that. So when he's getting ready to get off the phone with the guy, he's like, I guess you're going to go, hang with your cabal friends, huh? And so the billionaire gets silent. He says, take care of yourself. And so that's when the black guy was like, oh my God, like something really is going on, right? Okay. So then the children go in the woods searching for something, the white girl and the white boy. The little white boy, he gets stuck by something. It's like a tick, right? And you see him slap it and then pull it off his skin, blood, all that stuff, right? So then the next night or the next day, he wake up, his teeth falling out. Cannot make this up. I'm telling you all the details because all the details matter. All the details matter. His teeth, he just wakes up, gets out of bed, and he just starts pulling his teeth out, right? So come to find out, he has Lyme disease because of the tick, probably, right? So he's dying. So he starts throwing up blood. So they was like, oh my God, we need to go get help. So the father this is after he done found out that the plane done landed and there's bodies all over the beach. He didn't tell his daughter, but he came home and he told the white lady. And the white lady was like, you just told me you saw planes go down. But he didn't tell his daughter. And the daughter was standing there and was like, So she immediately knows her mama dead, right? She immediately knows, like, this is, oh my God, right? And so she runs out the room, and um, he finds out that the little boy, the white boy, has Lyme disease. He was like, okay, I'm gonna take you to my neighbor because my neighbor probably has medication for you. So the daughter is like, please do not leave me. Please, I'm begging you, do not leave. It pissed me off that he left her. And the first time I watched it, I was like, why are you doing this? Like, you just found out her mom is dead. Why would you leave her here with these white people in your house, unattended, alone, etc.? But he ends up taking the father and the son to the neighbor's house. The neighbor ends up pulling a gun on him. He pulls a gun on the neighbor. So I'm like, what if you would have been killed? Then your daughter wouldn't have had a mom or a dad. So I didn't like any part of the situation. Cooler heads prevailed because the white guy got in front. He was like, I'm so sorry. We didn't want to bother you. I'm sorry. My son is dying. Please help us. Please just give us some medicine. I have $1,000 right here. He was like, $1,000 ain't gonna be much. If the system go down, money ain't gonna mean nothing. He was like, my credit cards aren't working, so I can't Cash App you, I can't Zelle you, I can't Apple Pay you. This is in the movie. So he's like, okay. So after a minute, they end up bartering. He gives him $1,000. He gives him the medicine. The son takes the medicine, and so they end up talking. He was like, I think it's the Koreans or the something like that, right? So they look at each other, and he was like, give it to him. So he gives him the red paper that he found, and he turns it around, and he sees the Iranian writing. He said, 4 days ago, I was on the phone with my buddy right before comms went down, and he said they got red letters from the sky as well. And he did 4 tours in Iraq, and he said it was Korean. He knows the difference in the language. He never would have said it was Iranians if it was Koreans, because he knows the difference in languages. So what the black guy said is that's the confusion that's going to be caused. They're going to make it seem like it's everybody, or we don't know which country is attacking us in the movie. Okay, and then they also said that it was something else important that I wanted to say about that. Oh, it was 3 phases of war. So they get in the car, right? After they get the medicine, they get in the car and they're about to head back to the house. And he said there are like 3 phases that they were afraid of. He said they had a scenario, and there's 3 phases of war basically. And one of the phases is to take down the communication, take down the transportation, and then create civil war. The third phase is civil war. So they want us to be at odds with each other and implode from the inside. That's the strategy of whoever is fighting us. They want us to implode from the inside out. What was also significant in the movie is there was a Ring of Fire eclipse in the movie. Did we not just have a Ring of Fire eclipse on February 17th? I told y'all about that. In the movie, the black guy says, nothing scares me more than a person unwilling to learn, even at their own expense. And that gave me Trump. That gave me Trump will dive off a cliff. He don't care, and he'll bring everybody with him, right, wrong, or indifferent. And he's clearly surrounded by people who will do the same thing. And that is something scary. That was specifically a line that I recognized in the movie. And then the last part of it was the daughter. The daughter was significant in the movie because all she wanted to do was watch the finale of Friends. In the finale of Friends, what was said that he was like, why do you care about this movie so much? Her brother was asking her. He was like, why do you care about this so much? He was like, because it makes me happy. And at a time like this, I would like to be happy. And if the world is ending, I would like to know how Friends ended. Do you understand? And so all she wants to do is find out what happened on the season finale of the TV show Friends. If you don't know what Friends is, it was a show that was stolen off of Living Single with a whole bunch of white people with no black people in New York, and they were friends, and they, the theme song was significant in this movie. So she ends up riding her bike and disappearing. And that's when the wife and the daughter go try to look for her. She ends up going to the neighbor's house who built a bunker, like a doomsday bunker for a scenario just like this in the movie, which is exactly what you see Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos and all the billionaires, they all have, there has been documented that they have built $1 billion bunkers in the last 5, 10 years. So they knew something, right? So she goes to the bunker, and in the bunker is a whole bunch of DVDs, it's a whole bunch of food, it's a whole bunch of stuff in there, and nobody's in the house. So she puts in the DVD of Friends, and she's able to watch the finale, and that's how the movie goes off. And what was significant about the movie ending like that is the song is "I'll be there for you when your something starts to fall. I'll be there for you, 'cause you're there for me too." That's the theme song of Friends. So the story is we have to depend on each other. We have to be friends. We have to rely on each other. That was the significance of Friends being the ending of the movie. Have I breathed this entire time? Have I taken a breath? Lord have mercy. I ain't never described a movie like this. When I tell you I was watching it, when I tell you I had to put the closed caption on, I had to listen, I had to watch, I had to see. I was paying attention to everything. I was just like, you're not gonna get me this time. What's going on? What do I need to know? In the movie, Teslas were driving themselves, and they were coming off the lot brand new. And so when the family tried to leave the house, they was like, we're gonna just leave. We're gonna find help. They done left, got stuck on a road, and the self-driving cars almost took them off, almost killed them because no one was behind the wheel. And then when they look out, it's literally an apocalypse. Like, you see a big explosion, you see like smoke everywhere. You see New York is like looking crazy. I think that's it. But I say all this to say that movie was super significant, and President Barack Obama executive produced it. That in itself let me know you should probably go rewatch it based on the things that I'm just telling you now, and see if you see any other Easter eggs. But when I tell you, when I heard what the black guy said and what the white guy said, I was like, see, this is why our vision be different. This why you can't be this, because you ain't even gonna see what I see. You ain't even gonna see what I see. Do you understand what I say? So I encourage everyone to go back and watch that. Again, it was very, very interesting, and it was a telltale sign of what is happening. Okay, this is it. We're rounding off. This is it. That ain't even that's cool. That's cool, but some other stuff that happened. When I tell you I got the juiciest gossip, when I say I got the juiciest, ain't nobody telling y'all about this on the news, nothing. I have not seen this. I meant to tell y'all this the other week, and so many things transpired that it didn't get included into the live. So originally what happened was Air Transit in Canada. Air Transit is an airline in Canada. They suspended all of their flights to the US. And I said, I got to tell the people about this. WestJet is another airline in Canada. They removed 15 Canadian lines, right? So from Canada to the US, 15 of those were removed in one day. Okay. So I was like, okay. That all happened in the same week, within days of each other. That almost never happens because in Canada, just everywhere in the world, but specifically Canada, they have always predicted travel in the winter months. They can always predict that Canadians will go to Florida during the winter. They're either going to go to Orlando or they're going to go to Fort Lauderdale. This has been going on since the beginning of time. They have bet billions of dollars on this tourism channel. This has always happened, right? And so this was nothing ever to, even think twice about. Well, they did this in 1 week, and this was a mathematical change. They recognized that people were not going. This white lady say, I don't buy American and I don't go to America. And a lot of Canadians felt like that. So they stopped going to Florida. Okay. So this was based on, and this is not just a rash decision. This is based on the math of load factors, ticket pricing, fuel costs, demand, and so much other, right? They automatically reassign those that travel to Mexico. They moved 4,500 flights to Mexico, and it surged by like 46%. They went from Montreal to Guadalajara and from Cancun to Mexico City, or Vancouver to Mexico City, right? They did this, and I genuinely believe, my expert opinion is that they were getting ready for the World Cup. They were trying to bypass the US. They saw the, problems that were going on. Guadalajara is the opener for the World Cup, and Canada has some games, Mexico has games, US has the bulk of the games. So I think they were just trying to get ready for that. So they completely shut down the flights to the US and just bypassed the US and went to Mexico. So of course, Mexico last week, they have an all-out civil war because their cartel leader was unalived allegedly. I've heard that he's actually alive too. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But the gag is, I heard he's actually alive. Anyway, they moved. So Mexico had the civil war, so there was a lot going on. So another thing that happened was, so once those two airlines did that, that affected, just that travel. Prime Minister Carney said, I'll see your routes shutting down and I'll raise you and I will close the entire Canadian airspace to US aircrafts. For 70 years, 70, the US has used Canada airspace without any issues, without asking, with no permission. They just flew their planes to Asia and to Europe through Canadian airspace. Prime Minister Carney said they revised their overflight fee structure and restricted access to the polar routes for nations currently engaged in hostile trade actions. Translation: American planes can't use the shortcut anymore. This is billions of dollars being evaporated in real time. This is your Amazon packages. This is flights doubling. This is your stock portfolio plummeting. This is them, because their fuel costs, right? The fuel costs, that shortcut, now they have to go all the way around. And now that's going to double the fuel costs. And they just closed the Strait of Hormuz. Be a fence. Be an entire fence. Be an entire fence. This is significant for so many reasons. There is a secondary market that will be affected by this. This is jet fuel. This is catering services. This is ground crew. This is pilots. This is flight attendants. This is baggage handlers. I'm talking about them airport unions about to be through it. Do you hear me? They're estimating that we are losing $4 billion per week. This just happened. $4 billion per week. Also, on the flights, the commercial flights in the cargo area, they not only carry people, they carry pharmaceuticals, fresh produce, and auto parts. Oh my God! Like when I say this creates a bottleneck in all of these industries, okay? The U.S. Travel Association is calling it an unprecedented act of economic aggression. Tell me that's not good. Tell me that's not good. They're demanding a bailout or immediate government intervention. Trump comes in. He said, can I send the military in there? Can I send the military to beat that? They was like, no, you can't bomb our largest trade partner. You can't do that. He was like, well, can we do tariffs? Can we do anything? It was like, no, you can't do anything. He said, can he send the military in there? They told him no. He asked, could he wants to know what they can do. So they have slashed flight volumes by 40% in Canada. And the problem with them being bailed out is nobody's buying our debt. So we don't even have anyone to help bail us out in this situation. This is a precise strike on the U.S. service economy. Also, because they have to go the long way around and they have to go through Anchorage, Alaska, there's planes sitting on the runway in Anchorage, Alaska. Ask me why. Ask me why. I'll tell you. Because pilots and flight attendants have to take a break. It's against the law for them to travel a certain amount of time. They have to, by law, they have to take a break because it's like safety issues. So they can't even go the way they need to. So it's also creating a bottleneck when it comes to travel. If US carriers like UPS and FedEx lose their slot in Toronto because of fuel costs and because of, not having all these delays, they will never get the slot back because Europe and Asia are coming in to swoop in to take their spots. They will never get them back again. This is in Toronto and Vancouver International. This hurts the U.S. economy on every single level: corporate profits, labor stability, supply chain, and currency strength. Trump's entire brand is the art of making the deal. He could not make a deal with Canada. Do you see the irony of all of it? Do you not see the irony of all of it? This is going to tank us. This is going to tank us. I'm not even trying to laugh and be funny, but this is it. This is a good one. This is no one died. No one went to war. This was no press release. This was no one's talking about it on the news. When I say he just did it overnight, he didn't ask no one's permission. He didn't say, what do y'all think about this? Let's negotiate about it. No, he made a decision and it is done. This is a lose-lose situation for Trump because this is going to make him either look weak or it's going to tank the economy because he either has to ask them, beg them, plead with them, please don't do this, or he's going to have to let the economy tank. Either way, it's a lose-lose situation. The U.S. is vulnerable to economic warfare. This just set a precedent that China and Europe are watching closely. And they're like, oh, if Canada can do it and they're their neighbor, maybe we've been taking advantage of this whole time too. Maybe we should renegotiate our skies. Higher prices and fewer choices. That's what you have to look forward to, U.S. We could have did it our way. We could have boycotted. We could have played. We could have shown the world that this is not something that the U.S. stands for. Nope. We're just going through life, lollygagging. Canada say, hold my Canadian beer. I got y'all. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. The United States ain't paying no debt anyway. You're absolutely right. They're not paying the debt. It's done. So that's also right. What you will see in the next couple of weeks is them trying to make Canada look bad. They will try to make them seem like they're traitors. They will try to make them seem like they're not making wise decisions when they're making the wisest decisions. Do you understand what I'm saying? They will also probably come up with some type of travel ban if they can do that. But this sets a precedence for everyone around the world, and people are seeing that we are not as invulnerable or invincible as we claim to be. Just like that Iron Dome that's getting mollywopped right now. Do you understand what I'm saying? That Iron Dome that's made out of paper machete, that's what's happening to us right now. Also, just to keep track, I want y'all to understand the farming industry These are all the industries that have collapsed since he's been in office. A year, farming industry, tourism, manufacturing, coal industry. He just bailed out the coal industry, gave them 800 million, not enough for I don't know why. And the economy has tanked. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's one, two, three, four, five. Five major industries that have tanked. We can't eat. We can't go nowhere. Mind you, Canada and Mexico are closed off, those borders. So now we can't even fly into Canada, and they are blocking us from going to Mexico because there is, I think all of this is strategic. All of this is being happening. And I think they're mad because Canada was going around them to go to Mexico. They tried to sabotage both countries, and both countries like, nah, I bet. Okay, bet. Not a problem. Not even an issue. So we're so busy focused on Iran, we not understanding what's happening in our backyard. It is abysmal. Abysmal. Do you understand? It is bad, bad. It is, and we don't feel it yet. We're just going through life, whatever. But when our food supply and our oil and our gas and our energy and our everything is being affected right now, and the catalyst behind all of it is the United States of America, is our president, is ISIL. It's ISIL. And so this is what happens. This is what happens. So I'll be there for you. You better get a friend. You better find a friend for 100. Do you hear me? You better be able to phone up. You better be able to figure it out together, because it is, I cannot stress to you enough how the signs are there and no one's talking about it because our attention is in so many different places. Last week it was Mexico. The week before was Venezuela. This week is Iran. Then it's 13 other countries. And then, so we are so stretched thin and we're so overstimulated. We can't even process that. I just went to the grocery store yesterday. I spent $300. I think I got like 6 bags of groceries. Okay, not a problem. Grateful that I'm able to buy them because I heard a call. Did y'all hear that call from that lady? She's 65 years old. She's legally blind. And she said, under the Biden administration, she got $80 in SNAP benefits. Under Trump, they took it down to $60. Then they took it down to $12.50. She said she went to her doctor. She done lost 28 pounds. She was not trying to lose 28 pounds. She cannot afford to eat. I say, niggas can't eat. Like, niggas is hungry for real. Not even like Africa, please feed the hungry, like that type of, not even a game, not even a joke. She said, I am basically withering away. I did not try to lose 28 pounds. I cannot afford to eat in this economy. 65. So I feel like we're not paying attention to what's actually happening because we're so overstimulated. And again, we're like, oh, that's over there. That's Middle East. No, Iran say it's everybody. No, it's everybody. Since you want to bomb our schools, you want to kill 175 of our little girls, everybody's involved. Everybody's involved, and everybody cannot defend themselves against Iran. Everyone cannot defend themselves against Iran. Iran say, we are not playing with y'all, and we will die by ours. Y'all done pissed us off so bad. That funeral, it was thousands of people, y'all. It was thousands. It was just coffins. Oh my God. I can't even process what's even going on. When I tell you the White House is not okay on the inside, on the outside, it looks like a united front. From the inside, it is all out chaos. They don't know what to do next, how to do it next. They don't know how to maneuver. They are offering insurance. This is another thing in the Strait of Hormuz. They're offering insurance to boats around the world. I don't know where we get insurance from, where we get insurance money from. I don't know. But Trump said he's offering boats insurance because all the insurance companies have dropped the insurance for the boats to go through the Strait of Hormuz because Iran has already sunk ships, bodies in the ocean, gone. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're not playing. They're not joking. And so all the insurance companies have dropped any ship that's going to the Strait of Hormuz. So Trump said, we'll offer y'all insurance, but you ain't got no insurance to offer. Them the first ships that's going to go if they got Trump insurance. It's just because it's like, this is what people wanted. 80 million people overwhelmingly voted for him. Then in Texas, they are doing early voting for the midterms. Do you know that they shut down the polls They were supposed to be open till 7 p.m. They shut them down immediately after 7. So people got in line after 7 thinking they were still going to be able to vote. They shut it down and they said any votes that came in after 7 p.m., set them to the side. Set them to the side. And people were trying to update on the clock app in real time, suppressed. You could only see repost. You could not see people who posted anything until this morning. People were trying to educate people yesterday about what's happening. Trump insurance, Trump insurance. I promise you, the gag is the comedy writes itself. Like, what is you insuring? Where you get insurance money? Anyway, so Texas, they cheated. And so Jasmine Crockett did not win. I think it was that white guy. And so it's not my circus, not my monkeys. I don't care. I'm just telling you what they did so that you couldn't even know that they shut down. They went to the Supreme Court of Texas and the Supreme Court shut it down. And they said, shut it down now. And any votes that came in after 7, anyone that's in the line right now, they have to go. And they separated them by Republican and Democrat. They made Republicans go in one line and Democrats go in another. It's worse than you can absolutely imagine. It feels like we have no way out of this. And people who have that last shred of hope, like, I'm gonna vote this November, I don't care what's happening, they're rigging it already. So it's just, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, and I'm the type of person, like, voting, I'm semantics, whatever. My family is like, voting is serious. We have to, so they make me, so just to keep the peace, certain things you don't even want to argue about. Old people care about stuff like that. Okay, I'm gonna go vote with you. It's fine. So I go vote. I definitely vote, but it's just like not one of them things that I believe actually, but this lets me know the depths that they are trying to go through to make sure we don't even get a chance to do that. Do you understand what I'm saying? No, I'm not joking. This is truly insane what's happening. They made them go to 2 different lines. First of all, you're not even pulled up. It was almost like voter suppression, voter intimidation. Are you in the Democrat line? Are you in the Republican line? It was that type of vibe. Do you understand what I'm saying? All of it is illegal and insane what's happening. It's all illegal and insane. And what you see now is everyone being affected by it, whether you voted for him or not. I told y'all last week or this week on Wednesday, they do not have to come over here and actually bomb us. There are so many ways that they could get us, and economic warfare is 100% one of them. Canada just struck the first, blow, and all the other countries are doing the same. I genuinely believe from the bottom of my heart that Iran is getting help from China and Russia, because they like, absolutely not. We sick of them too. They're giving them intelligence information on where Israel is shooting their missiles from. So that is, when I say, all I can do is watch. I'm just grateful. I don't have to when I get off of here, I'm going to bed. I'm going to sleep. Y'all know I'm getting rest. I'm taking a bath. I go to the spa because I'm not about to be stressed out. I'm not about to be stressed out in the last days. Stressed out in the last days. I'm not, I don't care what no type of body feel about it. Do you understand? So Canada needs the U.S. more than we need Canada. If you want to believe that yourself, you go right ahead. You go right ahead. And I want y'all to pay attention, because a lot of these comments be bots. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so you got to pay attention to that as well. Don't be arguing with people. Check their before you respond to things, because a lot of it is bots. This is like, we are being attacked from so many different angles and levels. Canada does not need the U.S. anymore. And I understand that we want to believe that we're the greatest we've been lied to. And I know he keeps telling us that we're the hottest country on the planet. He keeps saying that. We're not. I can't tell you enough. I come to y'all every week with the news, and every projection, every direction that we're headed in shows that we are not. We're actually the lowest country, the most hated country, the most detestable country on the planet. And people are showcasing that now. That when I say you killing those babies, you just created a whole new generation of hatred. Do you understand what I'm saying? Even if they would have gotten rid of the regime, and even if they would have been happy that, the guy was gone, you struck a school between 7 and 12 years old. These little girls had nothing to do with this, and it was strategic, it was on purpose, and now you have a whole new generation of people hating you, hating the country. So, um, I just want you guys to understand. Yeah, everyone comes here. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Um, but I think that's slowly about to change too. They're not talking about the number of people that are leaving the United States. That's another thing that I had the numbers somewhere. I can't remember where I put them. But when I say the record number of people that are leaving that are expatriating, that means they're giving up their USA passport. The numbers are staggering. I saw that last week. I meant to tell y'all about that too when I found out about them shutting down the Canadian airlines. But then they shut down the whole Canadian airspace. When I tell you it's escalating quickly, you can't even hardly keep up. But there are so many people that have left the US in record numbers. There are so many people that are either dual citizenship or they are giving up their US passport altogether. This is not a game. This is not a joke. I wish I would give y'all good news if I had it. Oh, I do have a little good news. So the last update is Tenderism. Y'all remember Tenderism? That guy, he did leave that place that was not treating him well. He left that restaurant. He didn't even leave. They fired him. It was not a good situation. You could tell his energy. He's so sad. You can tell behind his eyes. He's hurt. He really thought they had a friendship, a connection, a partnership, and they just disposed of him. They got rid of him. Mind you, they're still using his name, image, and likeness on their social media account. They're still using it on their social media account, using AI voiceovers like it's still him. May it crumble all to hell. Do you understand? But he ended up leaving, and someone bought him a restaurant. And Ron Isley from the Isley Brothers just hired him to do his birthday party. So Unc gonna win. I think Unc does not need a restaurant. Somebody said that he should go on tour, and I think that's so true. I think he could help struggling restaurants. They could come see him at their restaurant. Remember that guy, that white guy who was doing like restaurant makeovers, or I forgot what it was called, but he would go to restaurants and, make them over or like change their menu and all that stuff. If Unc went to different restaurants, we would pull up for Unc in different cities. I think he should go on tour too. I think that would be so fire, and he wouldn't be responsible for a brick and mortar and be stationary in one spot. He's older. How long will he actually have an actual restaurant? That's a lot of work, but if he had a solid core team that could be around him, that could help him like, come up with different menus in different cities, people will pull up for him. So I think that was good. But that's a great story. I think that's so good. We win in the end. That's why I'm like, Black people, we're fine. It's gonna go to hell, but we'll be fine. I'll be there for you. Cause you're there for me too. Yeah, the OG is gonna be fine. So you need an admin to block. I do. I just started getting on TikTok because I'm blocked on the Clock app. I was going live on there, but I'm blocked. So it's fine. I'll get an admin. Thank you so much. I will figure that out too. But either way, I appreciate y'all more than you know. This was a lot. And obviously, I wish I had better news and more to share, but it's going to get worse before it gets better. So I just want you to prepare for that now. And you could have been absolutely anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me, and I appreciate that more than you know. So I hope you have an amazing, safe week, and I will see you. I go live every Wednesday and every Saturday, so I will be back here Saturday to go live with you. Are you going to the regular meetup this year? I will not be there. I will not be there this year. Thank you for asking. I won't be able to make it. My year is crazy all the way up until July, so... Mod sabotage. Okay. Thank you for telling me that as well. But yeah, have an amazing evening, and I will see you back here on Saturday.